Hello, thanks so much for stopping by. My name is Melissa with 1S, but you can call me Mel, and today I'm excited because I get to show you what I've grown so far on my balcony. It's specifically hot peppers, and we have a lot of hot peppers right now. So I thought it was a good idea to just capture the moment right now and then maybe do another video or take pictures of the peppers once they have ripened. In this video, I am going to be taking you outside and showing you what we have, what we've been growing. My mom, she's been the one to grow stuff in the past, but this year my boyfriend and I, we've decided to take that on and specifically focus on hot peppers. Now he's a fan of hot sauce, anything nice and spicy, and he can go to extremes sometimes. So this was a good way where we could still use the hot peppers for the hot sauces that we actually do like to have with our food. I'm just going to give you a little bit of information before I take you outside. This is our first growing season, so we are definitely beginners. We didn't know what we were doing. We were given a little bit of guidance from my mom and family, but ultimately this was trial and error, and now we're even more excited to try it again next year. Based on research, just learning more about what we could have done better, how we could have set up the garden a little bit better, soil, fertilizer, all that kind of stuff. Once you start learning more, you're like, oh, I should have done it this way or that way. We were able to get a lot of peppers into the plants, so it was either way very successful, and it will be even more successful by the end of the season because I can't imagine how many peppers we will have. So we are growing 4 types of hot peppers. We have Habanero, Jalapeno, Carolina Reaper, and Ghost Pepper. So we have 2 on the high extreme continuum, and then 2 that we could manage, or at least I could manage, and have it in a hot sauce with my dinner. So yeah, I'm super excited to show you what we have grown so far. It's been, I want to say, about 3 months, 2-3 months, maybe less. I'll confirm that later. And yeah, so far so good. The jalapenos are doing really well, and those are probably the first ones that we're gonna harvest. And the other ones, they are doing great, but they just haven't changed color yet, and I'll talk about that in just a second as well. Okay, so give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and also I am interested in recording a video of progress, or at least the end result of the peppers that we did have and grown. So enjoy, and I'm going to take you outside. Let's go. So here is my balcony garden. You get an idea of how I set it up. It's quite bright right now, so you see how I just line them up side by side. It's a southeast side of the building, and I just put them against the balcony fence, and it works well. So now we're going to go through each of them in just a second. Alright, to start off, I'm going to be talking about Habanero. So this is one of our Habanero plants. So if my cameraman can get a little closer so you can get a zoom of some of the peppers. Can you see some? It's quite full. It is in a smaller pot. So of course, once it continues to grow, we will be uppotting it. Again, it is a small balcony, so we're not putting all of them into big containers and pots right away. And it's still doing really well. We just use an organic soil, and because we were on a budget, we used what we had. So the saucer is just part of, some of the containers that I had in the kitchen, and then a flower pot that I had, and we bought the rings, or the, I guess, holder at the dollar store. I think it was like $3, $4, and it fits really well into the pot. The peppers, I think, really like it because it provides a lot more support, especially because we've been having a lot of stronger winds recently, so now we are ready just in case that is to happen again. So this is probably like our second lowest when it comes to the heat. I'll put the Scovilles on the screen for you. They're not at the maturity that they should be for us to start harvesting. So these will turn red, I believe. We have one that will turn green, and then we have one that will turn red. So the cameraman is correcting me, saying that this one's gonna turn green, and then our other Habanero is gonna turn red. So we wanted to see which one would do better, so we ended up buying one of each. All right, so next I'm going to be talking about So next we have one of our jalapeno plants. It's doing super well. We already have 4 fully grown peppers, and we have a lot more on the way. There's a lot of smaller growth, so I think this one will give us quite a bit of fruit at the end of the season. I'll put some close-ups of some of the peppers that already have stretch marks. I was talking about that earlier. And that's basically letting us know that the pepper's not gonna grow bigger, but it's definitely gonna give us more flavor. So once we see those stretch marks, it's probably ready to be picked. We're probably gonna pick a couple within the next day or 2, maybe even today. This one's really happy, and we also have the net or the holder that we bought at the dollar store. I think this one was cheaper, it was like $1.50. It's helping for the plant to grow because it is growing up. We have it in an old garbage bucket. The one thing about this one that we won't do next year is it doesn't have holes at the bottom, so definitely that is a problem if we're worried about overwatering. So that's a lesson for next year, to get ones that have holes at the bottom. But again, we just used what we had. So yeah, so I'm really happy with this one, and I'm excited to see more peppers. So this next pepper plant is our Carolina Reaper. This is the hottest pepper that we're growing. Obviously this is the one that my boyfriend picked out. Now there's a backstory to this one. This plant was not doing well at the beginning. When we picked it, the first couple days that we brought it home, it was like the leaves were dropping, and we're like, oh, it may not survive. Should we still use it? So we gave it a chance, and we still did what we did with the other plants with this guy, and look at him now. So I think this is a testament that, just give your plants a chance, and just feed them, give them some light, and they actually may pull through. We had to cut him down significantly. Like, we had to chop off a lot of the leaves because they were not doing well in some of the branches, and he just grew, and now he's healthy as ever, so we're proud of this guy. But this is definitely not one that I'm going to be eating, so hopefully my boyfriend will find people that he can gift it and share it, and I'm not about to try this one. But yeah, so it's doing really well. There's about 6 peppers already, and there's a lot more fruit coming, so he's doing super well and he's thriving, so we're happy with this one. Last but not least, so for our 4th type of pepper or hot pepper plant that we are growing on our small balcony is the ghost pepper. And once again, this is one that my boyfriend picked out. It is one of the 2 hotter ones that we have growing. And it's also doing really well. There's a lot of peppers already growing, and it will change colors. So these are maybe halfway to being ready, and they will turn red. This one we were smart about, so we transferred it into actual grow pod, and I think this is what we're going to do for next year. It has drainage holes at the bottom, and then we just used a container as a saucer for the bottom. We bought the rack again, or the holder, at the dollar store for like $1.50, and it's doing really well. We're excited for this one because we can also make hot sauce with the ghost pepper. Probably going to continue to sprout outward, but the rack's doing what it needs to do right now, just to kind of help it grow up. Not grow up, but grow upwards. All right, so yeah, that's our 4th type, and now I have a little bit of a surprise. So I'm going to show you our last plant, who is doing the best. So let's check that one out. Here you have one of our Habanero plants. He is humongous. He's doing super well, and the reason why I think he's doing really well is because he is in a recycling bin that also has drainage holes at the bottom. He has organic soil, he has a lot of room to breathe, so he is just pumping out fruit like it's nobody's business. and we are just gonna have a lot of hot sauce with this guy, and we are so surprised. But yeah, this is definitely one of our bigger plans. I can't imagine if all of them were going to be this size, because for a small balcony, I don't have that space. So needless to say, this is probably one that shouldn't be grown on the balcony because it does take up a lot of space, but he still does really well on the balcony. You don't have to put it into the ground or into the actual garden soil in your backyard or whatever. So yeah, I'll do some close-ups and insert the images on the screen so you have a better idea of how much fruit this guy's holding. There's a lot more flowers coming, and there's a lot more smaller fruit already growing. But this one's the most exciting one that we have, although I'm sure my boyfriend's excited about all the hotter ones. But yeah, so needless to say, a successful growing experience for us on our small balcony garden. Alrighty folks, so that is a wrap for my mini tour of my hot pepper balcony garden. I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know if you've tried to grow peppers on your balcony, what worked, what didn't work for you, even any suggestions that you would recommend for me next year that will maybe be more helpful or provide even more success than what I got this year. I would love that. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Bye!